And we are live. This is the first official press conference. I'll let people load up for the chat. We have the first person on the chat. Now that's number 2. We are just waiting outside for the press conference to begin. I was going to originally do this afterwards, but why not do it live? Why not? This is the first press conference. This is the first time that Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz will see each other since that dramatic night in Madison Square Garden, June 1st. Where are we at in this world? Ken Burton. It's like a Christmas movie. It does look like some We Three Kings of Orient are, right? Jack Ord, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Karen Burton. Yeah, it does seem like a Christmas play, definitely in December. All right? Like some Jesus of Nazareth kind of play or something like that. Christmas tree. Kings. It's pretty cool. Very different. Absolutely. It is different, right? Damn, look, somebody's coming in. Is that a camel? No, that's a horse. I'm about to say they're bringing in a camel. It's in English, I hope. Ken Burton, me too. You know what I mean? If it's not, I hope we have some good translators, right? Travis Kolfe, let's see how Judas betrayed Jesus. I know, right? It's crazy. Never seen anything like this before. I know they had fights in Saudi Arabia, but I never seen, because maybe this is like the biggest fight. So I think they have to represent, you know what I mean? And, okay. Oh, that's like Mecca. HA will come in on a camel. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this is long. I'm waiting, like, is this I'm trying to figure out what the hell this is. Is this like is that an overview of the, Damn, this shit's like a movie. This is like the beginning of a movie. It looks like a silent movie and shit. Got a sparring lesson in 3 hours. Any advice for a smaller fighter? I'm 5'7". If you're fast, use your size. Ramesh Babu. AJ will knock Ruiz out for sure. ABS1, what's good? Man, we're waiting for this. We're waiting. We're waiting. I got AJ in 6 rounds. KO to much to lose. I wonder what's taking so long. You know what I mean? This reminds me of the Anthony Joshua interest. I hope it's not him though. I guess they're getting everyone together and they're showing us like a hologram, or that looks like a projector of some sort. That's what it looks like. Randomviz.com. Man, this is the Zone, brother. So this is the DAZN app. So go to the app. They got it there. You can see exactly what I see. Okay, now they're promoting Usyk, Canelo, Fabian Arsenio. Who knows? But it will be good. Oh man, I want to see these guys' body language, Fabian. I want to see what these guys are doing, like how they react around each other, how they interact with each other, you know? Okay, cool. Yeah, the Master Glenn, they got it on Sky Sports. Okay, you can go check it out over there on that side. You know something? I've been thinking, like, Ruiz is not, he's never made the amount of money that he's made ever in his life. He might consider leaving Al Heyman, you think? You know what I mean? Like, if he beats Joshua, yeah, they'll give him more money, but did they give Deontay Wilder more money to stay with Showtime? No. They didn't even match what he made. They made nowhere near, or they offered him nowhere near the amount of money that he was going to make with fighting on DAZN just to fight Anthony Joshua. You know? But of course, they looked at it as him trading and leaving PBC instead of, you know, grabbing an opportunity when it was available to him. So maybe Ruiz, man, he might want to consider going to DAZN. But, you know, maybe we're talking ahead of ourselves. Maybe we're talking ahead of ourselves. They saying AJ doesn't want to do the face-to-face with Andy is the issue right now. Really? Usyk should be embarrassed to fight UFC fighter. Yeah, Thomas. See, I would love to know that source. Did you hear any news on AJ training team? Is he going with the same? Fat boy Ruiz is a bum. Well, that bum took out the champ, right? Or the former champ. The boss, Rockdale in the house. I might have said that wrong. Amir Khan should be in the ring, be the ring girl. Counterpunch to Mello, blowing on Amir Khan. AJ said he's done talking is why he doesn't want to do it. Oh, wow. AJ needs to get that fire back in his belly. Why do I love you, Kurt? Counterpunch from UK. Samuel, counterpunch back to you. Much love. What's your predictions for the Saudi fight? Who wins? I don't know. This is weird. I never seen anything like this, man. Too close to call. Too close to call. They call me Fabio for short. Lex Gaming, YT. Will there be any trash talk in the press conference? I don't know. You know, maybe I think maybe this one would be kind of neutral since like no one's on their common ground. But if I was going to suspect trash talk, I'd expect it to be in New York or London, you know? I want to see how the fans treat Ruiz when he goes to London. You know what I mean? I want that interaction on the opposite side, right? I want to see how these guys act. AJ was becoming a civilian before the Ruiz fight. It's a good thing he lost that fight, and he's going to be motivated again. Well, we'll see, Ezra. Counterpunch to you. Tony Stone, AJ is not playing around this time. Well, let's hope not. Joshua just not been fun to win. High been all belts, but now how gonna show everyone. The British fans were mocking Ruiz in America right before the first fight. Ah, Master Glenn. Yeah, I want to see how they treat him now, how they're going to mock him now. Fat boy does good. You know what I mean? Are they going to be angry? You know what I mean? Are they going to be pissed off? I want to see this, man. This is what I'm waiting to see. AJ's going to knock Ruiz in combination punches in the first round. Left hook, right cross. The reason I asked about the sparring is because I'm doing a charity match, and I know I'm not tall. What would you say is the best weakness the tall guy has against the smaller guy. To stay in the middle of his chest. To close the distance. Because the advantage he has is his height and more than likely his reach. But if you stay in his chest, he doesn't have room to work with. Because a lot of taller fighters, if he's a taller fighter than you, they got to catch you, and they're most effective on the inside of your punches. It's hard to punch someone right here, okay? So if you're right here at his chest and you can maintain that distance here to mid-range, you're good. So stay there. Kind of like how Mikey Garcia did Errol Spence. He stayed closer to Errol Spence, so Errol Spence couldn't inflict too much pain on him from the outside because he wasn't outside. He was inside. He just took a lot of punishment there, but he wouldn't have took nearly as enough if he would have got the distance to hit Mikey like he really wanted to hit Mikey. So that's my advice to that brother. AJ looks slimmer. Ruiz looks fatter. Damn. I mean, honestly, if I'm Ruiz, I wouldn't want to lose any weight because I think when the first game plan was they wanted to be bigger because Joshua was a bigger guy, right? Joshua was 247, I think. So Ruiz, I think he came in at 257, I think that was. So he actually added more weight on. Okay, that was a strategy. That's not because he was out of the gym. That didn't have anything to do with it. He wanted to add more weight because he wanted his punches to matter, and it worked. So if it worked the first time, it should work the second time. You know what I'm saying? If it's not broke, don't fix it. But what they're trying to do, I think that, in these 3 months, they're trying to shred Ruiz down so he can move more, faster. So he can be more mobile. So when Joshua starts to use his legs with the new body that he has, when the weight gone, they'll be able to keep up with Joshua. He'll be able to move with Joshua. He'll be able to cut off the ring with Joshua. That's the game plan I think they're trying to implement in Ruiz. Not the big, chunky, solid foundation Ruiz, but a slimmer Ruiz that can move. Because they're relying on Ruiz's punching power to hurt AJ. But what they're not realizing is maybe the punching power came from the weight that he gained. So. Well, this music isn't annoying at all. I know, right? You should do more live streams, mate. Simon Breakwell, I will, definitely. I'm actually moving, and then when I move, which in the next week or so, I will do more live streams and have the time to do them. Just in case I'm working and got a job somewhere. But even when I do, I'm still going to reach out, stay connected, post videos, drop videos, counterpunch other videos, do the whole thing. Tunde, why can't you see the presser? Check on Sky Sports, Tunde. They have it on live stream. Matter of fact, they have it on YouTube, Sky Sports YouTube. So check it out over there. Mosey Boy, what fight do you think would be a good chief support? I don't know. You got to be more specific. Be more specific with that, brother. Thomas C., I'm here right now in my source. Okay, now it's gone. Now it's a go. Okay, right here at 8 minutes. Okay. Well, I don't see that here. It's just live. So they're not really giving us anything on what's happening. I'm glad they have a timer. Will and Nay, are they riding on camels? Nah, I seen a horse earlier, Will and Nay. Seen a horse earlier. I didn't see any camels yet, though. But I wouldn't be surprised if they are. Ruiz is on pads. A fat, obese man can't throw the much punch without being on pads. I wouldn't say that. I just think Parker, Parker, and you got to understand something about Joseph Parker, because that's the guy that actually beat Ruiz, Decision Ruiz. He was smart enough not to engage in a lot of combinations. He used the ring, which was a smart game plan for someone like Ruiz. Because see, Ruiz is a guy up until that fight with Joshua. He ain't never been down. So he had a granite chin anyway. And it doesn't mean he don't have a chin just because he got dropped by Joshua. People got that backwards. You can have a chin and get dropped by anyone, right? Your chin is your will. Your chin is your ability to take punches. Yeah, he got dropped with that punch, but he got back up, didn't he? So that should tell you everything you need to know. Ruiz about to whoop him again, Kurt. King Jack. Ruiz looks nervous in my opinion. Can you see Ruiz right now? I haven't seen him in a while. But I mean, you know, this is the rematch. So I expect him to be nervous to a certain extent. He should be. It would be best to. You know, nervous means at least you're alert if you're nervous. You know, if you come in just like too cocky, too confident, you might get knocked out. The Mikado 16 counterpunch to your move, Kurt. Just did this weekend. It's terrible. Yeah, I know, right? Shit. Moving always sucks. But you know, I gotta go where the circus goes. What do you do? No. It's advancement. Well, AJ boxed like he did versus Parker to win. He should. You know, I think at certain times, I think he needs to create a lead by boxing Ruiz. And I think it should be one of those situations like Errol Spence did Mikey Garcia. Everybody thought Errol Spence was just going to run through Mikey Garcia, and he admitted a few days ago that he didn't even intend on hurting Mikey Garcia. His objective was to outbox Mikey Garcia and beat him at what Mikey Garcia thought was better, or he was better than.
To be staged in the Middle East, our place in history is assured. Both Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua are determined to punch their way into the hearts and minds of the people of the kingdom and of the world. So ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, please welcome to the stage His Royal Highness Prince Abdul Aziz bin Turki Al Faisal Al Saud, Chairman of the General Sports Authority.
Damn, it's a long name.
Harry Inzarello, CEO of the Deria Gate Development Authority. Omar Khalil, Managing Partner of Skill Challenge Entertainment. Eddie Han, Managing Director of Matchroom Boxing Global. A very special guest for this evening, Andy Ruiz Sr., Manny Robles, trainer of Andy Ruiz Jr., Robert McCracken, trainer of Anthony Joshua.
Adam Sibley, what's up, brother? Welcome to the chat. Counterpunch to you.
And finally,
Melodian Vibes or Vibes. Counterpunch to you. Big D London.
Unified World Heavyweight Champion, Olympic gold medalist Anthony Joshua. And with a professional career of 33 wins, unified World Heavyweight Champion Andy Ruiz Jr.
They really didn't have any really big introduction. It's just kind of like standard, you know what I mean?
To your Royal Highness.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, they have them like right beside each other. You just got Andy, Eddie, and then Anthony. They're just right there, just chilling. You know what I mean?
Why boxing? Why this fight?
Segan, counterpunch to you, brother.
Let me start off with.
I don't know, Kings. This is a good question.
Saudi Arabia, and especially to the king, to the area.
They're the rich people with the money, that's why.
Also to welcome our special guest.
Any showgirls there? No, you don't see anybody. No chicks. I don't think they're going to have that in Saudi Arabia. You know, they get pissed off they see that. The only thing they want naked is in the bedroom.
We've had some events.
You better keep your chic on.
We've had some events, starting from Formula E, WWE, to the Super Cup Italian final, and other events that we're hosting in the kingdom. And they all fall under the 2030 vision guided by the custodian of the two holy mosques, His Majesty King Salman, and Conference.
John Williams. AJ should be pissed to breathe in the same air as Ruiz. I don't know, man. I want to see how they act. I want to see this face off.
And we're not just focusing on one sport, we're focusing on a lot of sports, and maybe that reflected on the number of events that we've hosted. We're very lucky to manage the luck this deal and to host it in Saudi. And luckily that we have a Diriyah, which is also a very special place for all of us in Saudi. But
Yeah, Andy does look a little nervous.
to the world what's
He's scratching his head and shit.
happening, and hopefully everyone can come and enjoy
Joshua kind of does too, though.
And one of our
Like looking around and shit. Like, kind of reminds me of Bloodsport when they're talking about everything. People are all looking around and shit. Like, like.
with all eyes on the kingdom from around the world. How do you think the kingdom and the world will react?
Well, I think everyone's already excited. So whether inside the kingdom or outside of the kingdom, and we're really looking forward to welcoming everyone.
Yeah, Jay's in a bad mood.
Is more than welcome to come and to watch the.
Maybe it's jet lag or something. When did he come in?
In the ring or around.
What, yesterday?
That we'll have set up here in the Diriyah, and even on the screens. So sports reaches to everyone, and I think it's a fundamental in the 2030 vision, and one of the key elements of the 2030 vision is to
Raphael,
kingdom, but also
counterpunch to you, brother.
grow.
Oh, they came in last night. I know Ruiz did. I wasn't sure about Joshua, though.
We're increasing the interest.
I don't know, what's that flight from England over to Saudi Arabia? I know Andy Ruiz must have had a fucking long flight.
Drastically by hosting these events, by giving this opportunity, but also we want to give this opportunity to Saudi citizens that they have this fight in the kingdom and they can come and watch it.
With regards to 2030, which a lot of people don't think very much about from around the world, but it really is something monumental with the revolution. How do you think that this fight will have a long standing legacy for the kingdom's future?
Well, definitely it's a start off for something that's exciting. I mean, everyone's excited about this fight since we've announced in the kingdom. Everyone's looking from now on how to get the tickets and where can they lock their seats, although that we haven't announced that yet. And I think it will also boost the interest in boxing in general. We see a lot of venues, a lot of gyms that are opening up. Boxing is an old sport.
7 hours? Is that from England
Saudi Arabia.
to Saudi Arabia? Damn, still a long fucking time on a flight.
These events that to open up
I know Miami to Rio is 8 hours, and that's just far on a flight, though, man. You got to understand what type of miles you're covering and on a plane.
plan to really encourage the youth into getting into boxing and having a full ecosystem around it.
So as you all know, and as the world is watching, the kingdom is evolving and changing.
The shit's like hella low.
In fact, boxing is maybe one of the number of flagship sports, cultural events, and music events coming together. Can you tell us a little bit more about the event calendar that is currently scheduled and what the world can expect to witness here?
Well, we're going to announce about the Diriyah season.
That's what's up, Jack Ord.
5
Second sparring. Pace yourself. Breathe.
sporting events, entertainment, and musical concerts, and that will be hopefully announced in October with a full calendar of that. But taking the success that we had last year, and
Segan, appreciate you, brother. Thank
I
you.
can guarantee you that
Thank you for your support.
This year it will be a much bigger and much well-planned event than last year. We had only 2 months to plan for last year's event. So although the feedback was very positive, we want to take it to another level, to be honest. And I think that everyone that's going to come for this fight is going to experience something.
Leanne, Liam.
So that is
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support.
In October, we will announce all the details, even with
Lex Gaming YT, I agree. I think they both look uncomfortable, like not at ease. You know what I'm saying? Like they look, if you, when they pan back over to them, you'll see them. They're kind of like looking all around. But I mean, look where they're at though, man. They're in front of like like a sand dune, like castle thing. You got sheiks and shit everywhere. You don't really, you know what I mean? That's kind of,
but definitely we will have an easy system.
you know, that's weird, man. You know what I mean? Imagine that. You used to guys with, you know, regular people and shit. You're not used to this type of decor, you know?
As an example. And yeah, we're looking forward to,
You know, AJ needs to run it back with Joey D in the camp. It's just about the boxers of these I don't know, Daniel, because it's like they've been like talking to these guys. Let's talk about Joshua and Ruiz. Let's get these guys in the camera. They're sitting there being interviewed. Shit, what they got the fighters for then? Like, it looks like Joshua and Ruiz should be there, and Eddie Hearn in the middle where this rich-ass fucking prince is at. It's crazy.
Talent Entertainment is proud and thrilled and honored to be the official partner of Clash of the Dudes, December 7, 2019 today.
They're like glorifying the motherfuckers that put it together. That's cool and all, but like they should like take a step back. Yeah, shit's annoying. Richard Ease, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. We love you back here in Nigeria. Clay, keep doing your work. Fairness, Counterpunch. Absolutely, man. Thank you for the support. From London, Counterpunch to you. Shit, they'll be there tomorrow. What are they? Are they going to New York tomorrow? Daniel Hernandez, not interested in further watching fight in Saudi Arabia. Well, wait until that comes. Welcome to the money. Arabia, all about the money. Nico Pay. Yeah, it's gotta be. Look at this shit. They're interviewing the motherfuckers that put the money up. And then this motherfucker's reading a card, so you know this is like scripted. You know what I mean? So he has to do this shit. It's crazy. Martins from Sweden, much love to your channel. Counterpunch to you, brother. Thank you for your support. Yeah, it's all about the money, Richard. It's all about the money. I want to know how they're going to build the stadium so quickly. Shit, with the money they got, they'll build that bitch in a week. That bitch will be up like, you know.
Green Valley, beautiful rivers, and Derea. Now, what we say affectionately is there's only one Derea.
Fucking Eddie looks determined and shit. He looks like he's always on point. But fucking Joshua looks mad. Joshua looks mad, dude. Hell yeah, they'll build it in a day. Shit, whatever they got to do. We want this shit up immediately. That shit'll be built. Here's $1 million. Do it. Bring motherfuckers in from, you know, Africa, India. They bring whoever in to fix that shit to put that up. Look, they should have done this shit like with like a second interview. This is stupid. This is not what they, you know. Paul Young, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Ruiz looks like he's been crying. The motherfucker probably been sleeping. He probably had some bad sleep because there's no telling how he deals with a long plane ride like that. So he might just be tired as shit or jet lag, man. I fly a lot too. And I really don't fly on that. When that plane gets to turbulence and moving and shit, and you hit an air pocket, man, I can't sleep on that shit. Like I go back to Rio, that shit's like, that's one thing I hate about Brazil. That shit it's 10 hours from Dallas, it's 8 hours from Miami, it's 12 hours from New York. So anywhere you go, you're gonna be on that flight for a long time. So if he's anything like me, I'd be like, I would be in that bitch. My eyes will be this color and shit. You know, how I look like I have hepatitis C. Like, dude, what's wrong with your eyes? Are you okay? Getting enough sleep? Shit. They should have fought at the Mandalay Bay in Vegas. They should have fought any fucking where, man. Anywhere else. Like, they should have picked another Netherlands or fuck, somewhere. Nigeria even, something. That would have been pretty cool. They fought in Nigeria, though, real talk. Martin Walker, keep up the good work. Love your straight and honest videos. Appreciate it, Martin. Counterpunch to you, brother. Love your Arnold voice. John Flora, AR looks really fat in the face. Shit, he's a fat guy, man. He's just fat. Fuck. That's how he looks. That's how he's going to be. Some people just going to be fat. He got the fat gene. You know, that motherfucker, he could be, you know, unless you're like Turtle or some shit like that. Remember Turtle from Entourage? Unless you're like him, you know. And then he looks totally different now. Totally different. But before, he was just a fat guy. Look at, okay, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is never going to be a small chick. Never. She's just not built that way. It's not her. Okay? Being skinny for Andy Ruiz is not him. They want to slim him down. He is, you know, he's just a fat dude. He is what he is. You know, like Popeye, you know. I am what I am. Yeah. Andrew Dickinson from England. Counterpunch to you. South Africa in the house. Nethato. G-Funk. Counterpunch, you look much like AJ's elder brother. Shit, ain't no telling. He's just a big ass younger brother then. That's my little brother. But I got an older brother that I'm bigger than, so I can dig it. Guess AJ don't want to be a landlord in US no more. I know, right? He should have came back to collect. That's what I would have been. That would have been like if I'm Anthony Joshua, I would have been like the landlord. I would have been like, look, I'm coming back for my rent. This is still my building, and you got to pay up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was disappointed in that. Real talk, Paul. Really disappointed. I would have gone to the UK for sure. Yeah, I would have went to the UK. I was ready to go to the UK. You know what I mean? And I was going to beat some people over there, you know, in the UK, you know, for that fight. You know, we was going to watch the fight, whatever else covered or whatnot, get some backstage interviews, all that good shit, man. But, you know, Big D London, AJ got his Clubber Lang face on. Pain. Yeah, that motherfucker does look kind of like a security guard outside a LA strip club, don't he? He's like, look how militant and shit he's looking. Yeah, he's looking around and shit. Like, damn, he just blinked once in like a minute. Hey, damn, okay. New to your channel, like it a lot. NFD UK, National Memorial Gardens, counterpunch to you. Mark McGowan, very different atmosphere to any other boxing conference I've seen in the past. Yeah, it is. Look at that shit. Look at Eddie working his magic, guys. Look at Andy. Andy shit. Andy looks like that's his promoter. Look how he's smiling and shit. Joshua punching Power Ruiz to be ruined. Proving that money really does talk. Liam Pridemore, it does. This shit talks. Look at this shit, man. They praise this fucking prince. They praise this fucking prince for like 15 minutes and shit. No? The fuck?
Opportunity for our sport. And you're not just bringing a fight to the kingdom.
Fucking calling me now?
The biggest fight in world boxing. The biggest prize in boxing. The World Heavyweight Championship. Not a one-off fight, a rematch of one of the fights of the year. Back on June the 1st at the sold-out Madison Square Garden, we witnessed one of the great heavyweight upsets of all time. This man on my right may not think it was an upset, but it did go down in history that way. It was an incredible fight, both men on the canvas, as Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua to become the unified world heavyweight champion. On December the 7th in Dibia, we do it all.
Tafita Godzama, love the new AJ attitude and love from the UK to the counterpunch. Great Kurt, thank you for your support. Look at Eddie selling this shit. Can't wait till I see you interviewing folk. Always thought you'd be good at that. Yeah, because I'm gonna ask questions that's unsettling. So you know, if it's me not asking certain questions, I don't want to do it because it's like it would be. Why would I only ask you certain questions? I'm gonna ask you questions that I feel that's important to what's going on with you and your career, not shit you want me to ask you. You know what I mean?
So I want to thank everybody for bringing this.
Because I could have interviewed Deontay Wilder. It's just he has a good friend that I met in Brazil, believe it or not, and he's close friends with him, and they used to play basketball and shit together, you know. And then he was there for 6 weeks, and I was there for a few weeks or whatnot. And this was earlier, I think in January. But if it comes between him only asking, or don't ask me questions about certain things, well, why am I interviewing you? You know, that's unsettling to you. That means you don't have an answer for it. You care not to talk about it. I mean, something's wrong with that. Because I'm not going to ask you personal questions. I'm going to ask you questions about your career and what's going on and what can we expect from you, and you know.
Once they touch and taste the sport of boxing, they will be addicted, they will be back, and it will be such a monumental occasion, as I said, for this sport. We're now going to speak to everybody at this top table. I'm going to start actually...
Hell no, Big D London. He ain't bringing his wife.
On June the 1st.
What commission is overseeing this fight? You ain't lying. That's a good fucking... I know VADA, but I don't know what, like, sanctioning body. But VADA is overseeing the drug testing.
Thank you to all the people from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I feel so proud when my son won the fight. It was a dream that we had when he was 6 years old, that I was training him. And I think the dreams, they come true. I've been working so hard.
Yeah, look at the atmosphere. It is dead over there. You don't hear shit.
That we was going to win this, the champion of the world.
And if you notice, you don't see it like any, like, they're probably just like security and shit. Like, you don't want a bunch of flashes because it probably makes them nervous or some shit like that. You know, the glare, and it could be, you know, misconstrued as gunfire or something like that. So they're probably telling people to hold off on that. Because normally that's all you hear, like, right? You don't hear none of that shit. You hear just silence. Like someone hit the mute button in the crowd, right? Nigga, Rob McCracken's gonna speak.
Yeah, this is heavyweight boxing. Time and time again. Andrew Ruiz is a very good fighter. He's the world heavyweight champion.
The Ninja E. You thinking I need a burrito supreme? They're from Taco Bell. Shit, he'll probably get a burrito supreme with goat meat in that motherfucker. You know?
Obviously a new dynamic in Saudi Arabia. Boxed for a large portion of his career in the UK, then New York last time out. This is a completely different environment. We know that a ring...
It's not unified until one day
Yeah, it's going to be challenging for
one of them beats Wilder if they can. Yeah, or Wilder beats them. Because you remember, Wilder's the guy that only has one belt. You know what I mean? So that's a shit. You got one guy with most of the belts, which is Ruiz, versus the one guy with only one belt that's never had any other portions of the title. So you got to remember that. He walks around that WBC belt, and the more the WBC fucks up and showing shadiness, that makes the belt lose value to me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he has to beat Ruiz or Joshua to be considered the undisputed.
First of all, thank you everyone. Thank you to the media.
Mr. Robles. I like Manny.
The country of Saudi Arabia for having us here. The city of Diriyah, I hope I'm saying that correctly, with all due respect. It's incredible. You guys have an incredible country. People here are very nice, very warm, so thank you for the warm welcome. And as you said, Eddie, yeah, it's time to turn the page.
Yeah, Kings, he looks pissed off. AJ looking mean. He does. Looking pissed off. More like camel meat. Yeah, camel meat, or they eat a lot of goat there too. Like a lot of Africa, they eat a lot of goat because, you know, like the goat is like the pork over there because, you know, they don't eat pork. So, you know. Never had camel meat. I want to try all types of meat, like bear meat, moose meat, and shit like that. You know. probably tear your stomach up though eating that shit. So rich.
Motivated Andy Ruiz, what do you expect?
Well, it's part two. It's a continuation of part one, but obviously, with both fighters
Oh, shit.
know each other.
You hear Manny?
They know what to expect.
He said it's a
So there will be
continuation.
changes. Obviously, we will have more time to prepare this time around. We have begun our preparation. There will be some changes, and you can expect a better Andy Ruiz, faster, leaner, stronger than the first time around.
See? Faster, leaner, stronger. That's their objective, to get him smaller.
In a long time, we're going to go to the challenger, Anthony Joshua. Anthony, it's been an amazing 24 hours, and this fight has obviously captured the imagination of not just the people in Saudi Arabia, but the people all over the world.
Most definitely, and thank you very, very much for your hospitality to the people in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, to the names that you mentioned, to Roseanne as well. Thank you so much for everything, for putting this together. I never thought I'd be fighting outside of London or outside of America, so it's a blessing and I'm humbled to be here. With the fight, I feel I was up against a good challenger at the time, and as I mentioned, I was only champion until June the 1st. And as Andy's champion right now, that will last until December the 7th, until he has to put his titles in the air, and two warriors go to war, and the best man will walk out victorious. I'm really looking forward to the challenge, and I'm glad that people here are supporting boxing. Some may support me, some may support Andy, but at the end of the day, we're going to have a really good night of boxing, and that's what we're all here for.
Short and sweet. He's like, oh, he's that until December 7th when his belt's in the air.
Sport of boxing,
I want to hear what Andy has to say.
iconic places to take you around the world. Your experience of Saudi Arabia for the first time, I know it's only been 24 hours, but you seem to have really enjoyed taking it all in.
Yeah, so my parents' heritage is from Nigeria, and I was born in England. And I started boxing when I moved to London, and my cousin was training. But I was only doing it for a mindset thing. I needed to change my mindset. When I was younger, I was getting in some sort of trouble, and I wasn't really
Don't
focused
hear
on
our
my
Western
education
media.
as such.
The only
But
women
being
here are
around the
Western
older
media. Damn.
generation,
It's crazy.
the wiser generation, they gave me a lot of game, a lot of knowledge that I could use in my day-to-day life. And I kind of started thinking as an individual. In 3 years, from being a novice to walking in the gym, I was competing at the Olympics, and by that time I'd been to so many countries around the world representing Great Britain. I turned professional. I based myself in England, where I won the Olympic gold medal, and I've been competing out of Great Britain ever since, until the time I went to America and I lost my titles, or I should say the titles, because I feel being a champion is more than just the belts, which I've always said. Being a champion has responsibilities, and it's about having a championship mindset. So the belts that go in the air, we will fight for them again. And this time around, as I said, it's not London, it's not America, it's Saudi Arabia.
He said, as I said. Oh, look at Andy like, motherfucker, yeah, you're smart, talking shit.
Andy,
What's Andy gonna say?
moment on June the 1st. We're here in Saudi Arabia. I guess no one expected that.
Damn, he does look fat as fuck.
Coming on December 7th.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Thank everybody. But yeah, June 1st, I made my dreams come true. It was a lot of sacrifice, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And, I just believed in myself. And I think I'm here for a purpose. And just want to tell everybody, if they got a dream, they got to follow through, and everything is possible. But December 7th, I know Anthony Joshua's coming hard. He's going to come strong. I know he's going to be preparing really good, but so am I, I'm really hungry. A lot of people saying that I'm not training, that I'm not taking it serious. But come on, I got all these belts. Like you said, there's a lot of responsibilities to this. But I'm going to try my best, and God knows I'm going to try my best. I'm going to keep these belts. I'm going to have them back in Mexico. But I'm really excited, man.
I didn't know he lived in
December
Mexico.
7th, I'm going to make another history, and I'm going to win here the same fashion, the same way that I won June 1st. and I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. Thank you.
Yes, Andy, I've got to ask you about, talk about how people think you've taken your foot off the gas. We've seen the new house, we've seen the Rolls Royce, congratulations on all of that, but you've achieved history, but the hunger still burns stronger than ever.
The hunger still remains. You know, I don't wanna be a 15-minute of fame, you know? I want it to last. I want it to be a generation. I want to be a champion for more years. I want to challenge it. And, you know, I have a good fighter right here next to me. He's going to try to take these belts, but like I said, God's with me, and we're going to be training really
Joshua
hard
looked
for
pissed.
December.
He looked mad as fuck.
Finally, there was a lot of people talked about conspiracy theories during the first, and you know, we said the best man won on the night. You know, people talked about Anthony wasn't up for it or whatever, but you went in there.
Oh, they bringing that up now, the conspiracies, right?
Anthony Joshua on December the 7th. Do you expect a tougher test this time round from now the challenger?
I sure do. You know, he's more hungry. You know, he wants his belts back. So I think that's what's giving me more motivation, more hungry. I want to train even harder, you know, just because he's training even harder too. So, you know, I only had a month and a half to train for the first fight. This time we have a whole camp. So
Yeah, he's mad. Thomas
benefits me
C.
as well. So it's just gonna be an exciting fight, hell of a fight. Two big heavyweights punching each other in the face. It's gonna be exciting. Tune in, December 7th. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Thank you very much, Andy Ruiz, and thank you to Anthony Joshua.
He's a Mexican now. Kurt, what is your opinion on the Buster Douglas and waiting? I'm waiting for your analysis on Mexico.
Thank you again to
Well,
everybody. Ticket details for the UK fans, for the American fans, the Mexican fans will be released in due course. Of course.
well, as I recall, Oscar De La Hoya was, you know, he's Mexican. His dad's from Mexico, but he's from East LA. He's American. You know, so just like Anthony Joshua, he's representing Great Britain. He wouldn't say I'm bringing this home for Nigeria. He's bringing it home for Britain because that's where he's from. That's where he was born. That's where he's raised. Yeah, he lived times in other places. I've lived in other countries from the same heritage I'm from, but I'm American. You know what I mean? So it's,
Thank you very much.
I guess, you know what I mean? I guess I know since he's met the president or whatnot, he has a bigger following and he wants to represent that president or whatever. You know, it's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a,
The prayers. Members of the media, we would love to invite you back for refreshments and candidates.
it's tempting to shout Mexico
Thank you very
only.
much.
You know what I mean? He should actually say both, represent both nations. Like Joshua said, hey, I'm Nigerian, my folks from Nigeria, but I grew up in London. This is where it started, in London. And I've been representing London, okay? Not, oh, Mexico, and I'm from South California. Okay, if you want to be technical about it, if we go back in history, Texas on back west was all Mexico at one point, but it's not that anymore, right? A lot of people have a different view on that. But, you know, I feel that Andy Ruiz should say both. If he wants to represent, there's nothing wrong with representing both. You can represent Mexico and America. Just don't say, I'm doing this for Mexico. No, you're doing it for Mexico and America and all the Mexican Americans also, as well as the Mexicans. You know what I mean? He needs a PR guy. I think people should help him, you know, when he represents or says these things. Now they're face to face. Now, but they cut the shit off. Anthony Joshua talking like he's like, motherfucker. It looks like he's asking him questions, and Andy was like, he's shaking his head. Look at Joshua, look mad. He looked like them smiles you give a motherfucker before you about to punch him. Yeah, you see Andy, he got his hands crossed, his fucking arms crossed and shit. Shaking his head like, yeah, you better know it. Look. Oh shit, look. Fucking Ruiz is like, and fucking Andy like, yeah, motherfucker. That, like, what was said, I gotta hear what was said because obviously they had this conversation. It was a little short conversation. And those small, in-close conversations, kind of like the Dillian White and the Eddie Hearn conversation that took place, right? That they didn't think they heard. But now you couldn't hear all that shit because they turned the communications off. I guess they squaring off again, him with the belts and shit. Ruiz is gonna KO him next time. You know, they're gonna come fired up. Joshua looks pissed. Now Andy looks like I got you. I fucking got you, Anthony. I tricked you. I had you thinking. Now I'm gonna fucking keep you blinking and keep you stinging with these bees. Oh, yeah, that looks more serious. That looks more serious right there. No shit, yeah. You know what? I'm assuming what that conversation was about. I think it was all that shit talk that Andy started talking, because you remember he didn't say any of that when. Yeah. See, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that fucking coverage was garbage, dude. I don't know what the Sky Sports was like. I'll go back and check it, but yeah, that's that. That's what we have, guys. So that was the fucking first press conference in Saudi Arabia. You know, now here's the saving grace. The saving grace is New York and London. Okay. So we have the next two promotional cities. I think it should have really been in LA instead of New York, but you know, of course that's where it ended, you know, so why not? You know, Ruiz's backing is in LA, so why isn't it in LA? I think that should have been something that Ruiz's team should have talked about and discussed. You know what I mean? Yeah, AJ be like, I'm all about my business. Joshua said Britain first. Yeah, he did. You know, but the shit was so flat. It was flat. They talked more about the fucking prince and the people that set this up versus, you know, and those are supposed to be the people that you hear less about. You know, you're only supposed to be like, oh, well, shouts out to whatever for making this happen, right? And then get them the hell out of there. They talk too much about those guys, but I guess that's the stipulation of those people having the amount of money that they're putting up. Because, I mean, what is it? 70 million pounds for this fight. So, you know, I guess they wanted their 2 cents, right? So Andy looked nervous. AJ looked pissed off. James Levine, Joshua looked pissed off. Andy Ruiz looks like he was trying to be cool, but he wasn't. Andy went red. Yeah, I noticed that. His fucking cheeks were rosy and shit. You know, that's tall tale signs, because I think what Joshua was telling him, like, yeah, you talk. Because, you know, Joshua gets pissed off. I'm telling you, man, Joshua has a dark side. He has a dark side. And, you know, he's one of them dudes. I remember he was on the Breakfast Club. And Charlemagne the God, you know, which is a Wilder guy, you know, he was, you know, telling him, I think Wilder gonna knock you out or whatever. You know what I mean? He was cool about it. It's just then Charlemagne was like, man, what's up with your hands? What the fuck? You bleeding? You know what I mean? And then Joshua was like, oh, just get some stress relief. You know, like, damn, would you fucking be punching walls and shit? What was wrong with you? You know, I think Charlemagne the God, you know. So he probably go somewhere and punch walls and shit like that, you know, behind closed doors. So yeah, that's another attribute, another example of the dark side, man. You know what I mean? AJ is pissed because of those emotionists. The hell is that? Okay. They both look rich to me. Yes, hurt. Just see the presser. HR. What presser? You mean on Sky Sports? Ruiz smiling at him. Yeah, Ruiz was like, I got you. I got you. Yeah. Because he was just really listening to Josh, because Josh was talking to him. You know, and they were talking to each other. So whatever they have to have a dark side to box for a living. You ain't lying. That and being a damn stunt man. You got to be pretty fucked up in the head anyway to do some stupid shit for somebody else. Thought Andy looked a bit scared. He looks even bigger than before as well. He does look chunkier because I remember him before the fight with Joshua. And again, people keep throwing that, oh, and like he did. I only had a month and a half to train. Dude, you just got out of a fight. It would be different if he was sitting on his ass for a couple months like Dillian White did. Instead of Dillian White getting prepared, you know what I'm saying? Like Ruiz did. You see how Ruiz was like, fuck it. I just got out of a fight, and he did a full training camp for that fight. He took a week and a half off. Come on, really, that's helped him, if anything else, because when you take a week and a half off, you can recover. He won a fight. He recovered a week and a half. He went right back into training. He didn't want to go back immediately because you need time to heal. Anybody that trains excessively, extreme sports, knows you need healing time. You need rest. You need that time, okay, to heal. So that's what he needed. It wasn't a fucking disadvantage. It was an advantage. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, he had ample time, ample opportunity. Why do you think Eddie agreed to that particular fight? Because he just got out of a fight. It wasn't like he was sitting on his ass again like Dillian White. After Dillian White knocked out Chisora, he went over here to America, and he was talking a bunch of shit. He was eating Philly cheesesteaks and shit like that, and he got fat. He wasn't even in training shape. And then when January rolls around, he's like, oh, I'm not even ready. Don't even give me time to train. I'm like, well, motherfucker, you knew that he had that date. And if you thought you were going to be that guy, or you could have possibly been that guy, why didn't you just do what Ruiz did? Ruiz was on point. You got to give it to Ruiz. He took this opportunity by the horns and he made it happen. He didn't do what all these other motherfuckers did. Everyone had an excuse. Everyone had a reason why they didn't want to fight Joshua. That's what I'm talking about. Deontay, Dillian White, Tyson Fury, you know what I mean? All these dudes. Adam Kalnaki, he didn't want to or he couldn't. Let's be real. We don't know what type of shit goes on over there with Al Heyman. A guy that don't like to be interviewed and you hardly hear from him, he got to be doing some shady shit. If you don't have any problems with how you advise your fighters, you wouldn't have a problem sitting down with an interview and asking questions about certain ways and how you conduct business. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but Ruiz did what he's supposed to do. He did that, and it was cool, and that, and then it changed his fucking life. Yeah, he was smiling a lot, Ken Burton. He was smiling a lot. This guy was smiling like, hey, and it was almost like he looked nervous, but it's almost like someone talking shit at you and you trying to be cool. Like, yeah, and that's how he was to me. Like he was trying to hold back emotion, but his face was showing it all. You're telling somebody like, I'm gonna beat you the fuck up. You're a bitch made punk. You this, you're that, you're everything but a son of God. And then you're just taking it. That's what it's that, and I couldn't even hear it, but looking at their body language, that was nothing friendly about that conversation. It was no handshakes. It was no high fives. It was nothing like that. It was nothing like that. It wasn't as bad as Canelo versus Triple G 2, but it was definitely something that we had to look forward to. You know what I mean? It was something that was brewing, that was said between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear what was said. I want to hear the conversation that took place. But you don't have to be a mind reader, right? Or a lip reader to know that whatever Joshua told Andy Ruiz wasn't that nice. It wasn't nothing nice about that, because he was like, all the shit talk, all the stalling, all this, that, and the other. He's not a good fighter. But what did Andy Ruiz say in that meeting? Oh, he's a good fighter. Well, now, motherfucker, you said he was a bad fighter. You should go with it now. You got the belts. You should go with it now. Like, no, like I said, he's not a good fighter. He's not really a good boxer. And I'm going to continue, like Manny Robles said, my head trainer, we're going to continue the same thing. And this is how it's going to be. HB, what's up to you, brother? Counterpunch to you. Counterpunch, do you think AJ has the upper hand in the rematch because he knows more so what to expect from Ruiz and realize that he isn't so much of a Mr. Guy? That's more of mental, I think. Inside the ring, I think that Joshua knows that Andy Ruiz is a good counterpuncher. So he has to be quicker with his reflexes. He has to know. He has to box more. He has to know exactly what to do with Ruiz. One thing he should have picked up from Ruiz don't like to move. That's what Manny Robles' game plan is. Like I said, he wants to have Andy Ruiz smaller because he's a fat butterball now. He's fat as fuck. He does look fatter. And I thought he was slender coming in after that. Before the first fight, he looked like he slimmed down a lot. So that last week or week and a half, he looked like he lost some weight, but now he looks chunky. So I don't even think he's even started the full training camp yet. You know what I mean? They got to do these press conferences first. Then they got to go back to the gym and handle business there. But the objective is to make him slim so he will have that mobility to move around and basically cut the ring off from Joshua to stop Joshua from getting off those jabs. You know what I mean? And setting up that right hand, because the right hand is there. If Andy Ruiz doesn't roll with that punch, that right hand will catch him because he just has to reach. You know, if you've seen when Andy got up, Joshua hit him with a solid right hand. And it wasn't the only right hand he hit him with after the third round, mind you. He got caught with a couple right solids. But I think Joshua's left hook and uppercut is his money punch. The right kind of sets that up, or the bridge to those punches. You know, so Andy Ruiz with Manny to get him there so he will be able and have the endurance. And so he won't be as heavy. So he can move around, cut off the ring, and do what he needs to do to win the fight. And his keys the victory. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Speed is power. I understand that. But I believe the objective was for Andy to come in heavy to fight a bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? So Ruiz choking when he sees AJ. People seem to forget, Joshua seems to forget that Joshua knocked down Ruiz in fight one. People forget that all the time. Ruiz looked scared. He did look nervous. He could have been a little tired. He could have been, you know, what I'm telling you, whatever Anthony Joshua told him, that's what made his cheeks red and shit. So that was because of the interaction between the two people. So that was that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he look, you know, look, it's crazy. It's crazy. Kurt. Yeah, what the hell is what the hell is poo? Yeah, the fuck out of here. I'm tired of seeing that shit. I didn't understand that. Yeah, he got to get out of here. I had to counterpunch his ass. Candy Crush. Ruiz weighed 700 pounds. He looked bigger. He definitely looked bigger. Kurt Matchroom just released a video on Instagram where Ruiz said, "I don't want to give Anthony his belts back. He's already mentally defeated already." Yeah, it's a lot to cover, man. A lot to cover. People seem to forget that Joshua knocked Ruiz down. Yeah, he did. There was multiple knockdowns. Matthew Moore. AJ seemed too peaceful. Want to see the beast mode come out today. Look, I'm going to tell you something, Matthew. Hold on. Before we talk about what he seemed, you got to understand someone like Anthony Joshua's demeanor. He's not Deontay Wilder. Don't expect that. You're not going to be, to this day, he's not doing that. He's not him. He's more of a passive aggressive guy. Deontay Wilder's an aggressive live wire. He's wild. He has a perfect last name. That's him. Anthony Joshua's the kind of dude, just like you remember when he fought Dominic Breazeale, and Dominic Breazeale was talking a little shit, and Joshua was like, "You don't want to run up on me, bro. You don't want to run. You're just trying to step to me like this. You don't want to run up on me. You know, you're not, you know, don't be like all the other Americans and don't back it up." Remember that? He wasn't outraged and shit like that. That's not him. So if you're expecting that, Matthew, you're looking at the wrong guy. You know, Deontay Wilder will do that shit. "I'll knock you the fuck out." Remember he told it to Tyson Fury? You know, to this day, he was pissed. You know, Deontay lost his fucking mind. And he was pissed off. Give me a tool. I don't know what that means. He won't slim down because he can afford that to eat now. He might, you know, look, it's a lot of factors that go on that we don't understand with a fighter, with a person, just naturally. If you have certain things, you had to eat a certain way because you didn't have certain money. Now things you can buy. Now you have to buy shit to eat right, you know. And and Andy already said he doesn't really like to eat meat because it makes him shit. It gives him it doesn't make him shit. It gives him constipation. He's constipated. So, Bobby B, monotone sounding Ruiz. Hey, he sounds like the same dude. You know what I mean? It's just, I think what happens when he leaves the press conference and leaves that general public platform, he goes back on his Instagram, then he can personally do the shit that he does. You know what I mean? He's like one of those dudes. I would have respected him more if he would have said the same shit to Anthony Joshua or about Anthony Joshua like he did in his press conference. But he might do that in New York or he might do that in London. So we can't, we can't overlook that. That might happen. Yeah. Carl Larner. Is that Larner? Yeah. Shouts out to you, brother. Nice counterpunch. Counterpunch to you. Ruiz's trainer looked more confident than himself. Well, I mean, he has the game plan. That's the guy that's in charge of his career, so he's supposed to. He doesn't supposed to look nervous and shit like that. So Andy Ruiz, it is what it is with Andy, man. Andy's the kind of guy that, this is the first time here. He's a fresh champion. He's a fresh, unified champion. That could be a good thing, bad thing, but understand it's a learning thing. He has to learn as he goes. He ain't really been here before. So a lot of people got to take that in consideration when you're dealing with Andy. Yeah, he's going to talk a little shit. You know what I mean? When a person that's not used to a certain situation, yeah, he's going to talk some shit, But then again, I want him to talk that same shit. But that's what I'm waiting on. And I'm hoping he's able, because, Saudi Arabia, you got to understand something. You didn't see women, right? You didn't see card girls. You didn't see something natural to promote the events. Remember them smiling, cute little chicks, the Corona chicks, right? They sitting back there, you know what I mean? They're smiling and shit until their face hurts. You didn't see any of that. This was a censored press conference, people. This is all that this was. It was the first because they had to promote it there, which I don't know how the fuck it was promoted there. But anyway, they had to promote it there, and I think this is really to pay homage and for the people that put up the money. I think this is what this was for. I don't think this was a real press conference. But the one in New York and London will be very different. Then I think these guys can relax and they can be in each of these guys' countries, right? And this is the question you ask yourself. Why isn't there, if he's Mexican, why isn't there a press conference in Mexico? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think Andy should have implemented that. I think he was like, okay, we need to have a press conference in Mexico, to promote the fight there also. So people can pick this fight up. So people have the opportunity to watch this fight. The question is the zone in Mexico? Are they even, I know that's, the U.S., but is it even available in Mexico? So it's a lot of questions. And it looks like he's been put on loads of weight. Yeah, he looks fat. And I'm not just saying that. He looked slimmer before. He definitely looked slimmer. Mark my words, AJ will knock Ruiz out in 3 rounds with a spectacular 1-punch KO. Prince J, I heard that. We will have to see, brother. I mean, it is what it is. Ronnie Fraud, Kirk DeVille, the GOAT. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks you for your support. No, it's the only way around. AJ is the one nerves. And I'm telling you guys. Hey, AJ looks annoyed. That could be nervousness. It's just the way he deals with nervousness. The only person that can really tell you are these people. I'm just telling you what I see, in my opinion, on these two guys. Andy, he was smiling and shit like that. Yeah, okay, whatever, motherfucker. You know what I mean? And Joshua looks like he was saying whatever was was making Andrew Ruiz saying, yeah, whatever, motherfucker. So he was responding to that, what Anthony Joshua was putting down, you see. Matt Lampkin. That's the least I've seen AJ smile in a long time. He means business. Yeah, he ain't about smiles and that Jay-Z ass laugh no more. You ain't seen that shit. You ain't gonna see that till after, yeah, or if he wins. Let's say that. Wilder, I'll knock you out. Hold me back, guys. Hell yeah. Cunt face. Damn, cunt face. It's a crazy ass name, man. No, he wasn't passive with Miller, but Miller pissed him off in a different way. Miller said things about his family and shit like that. Andrew Ruiz was just really attacking Anthony Joshua. You know, just like Brazil. I think he's handling this like Brazil. You know, he wasn't like, hey, you know, I want to rearrange your face and fuck you up like he's doing Miller. Miller did shit early on. Miller did the same thing that Shannon Briggs did to Vlad. Right? He did the same thing, and only Vlad didn't fall for the bait because Vlad has a temperament out of this world. I don't know how that dude controls him or his brother. Ain't no way to hell Chisora gonna slap me and I won't choke slam his ass. I would have glossed his ass like David Hay did. He ain't nobody gonna slap me or spit in my face with water. Man, they wouldn't have had that fight because I would have punched him in the fucking throat. No, I couldn't. Me personally, I couldn't deal with that. But Vlad can. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's that kind of shit Jarrell Miller did. Jarrell Miller just put on that old New York brash attitude that'll just get you roughed up and you know, ruffle your feathers and get you all unglued. That's what Jarrell Miller did. And it worked. And you had to give Jarrell Miller that respect because he was able to get in Anthony Joshua's head. He was able to piss Anthony Joshua off. See, the whole idea is about any emotion, inside or outside the ring for any fighter. Don't get pissed off because if the other fighter sees that you're pissed off outside the ring or you're hurt inside the ring, that's a no-no. And Miller was able to do that. They never got inside the ring, obviously, of course, because of the juicing that Miller was doing. But he did do what he's supposed to do outside the ring. Those are mind games, checkmate for Miller, right? So Briggs, if Briggs would have got the fight, it would have been the same thing because Vlad had Vlad mad. And I ain't seen Vladimir Klitschko that pissed off. Tyson Fury did a lot of that shit too. Remember that? So yes, the mind games are very, very important in this situation. You know, very important. Yeah, you look smaller, but you got to look at it, Jack. Shit. Ruiz is shorter and wider. So yeah, he's going to look smaller. You know what I mean? You know, and then Joshua's just he's not a fat dude. He wasn't bulky. He just had too much muscle mass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can Master Glenn. I can't wait for the gloves are off. I can't wait to counterpunch that shit because that's what you're going to hear, like through this. You're going to hear all that build up on what they said to each other 10 minutes ago. You're going to see all that, right? AJ looked furious. Counterpunch. Do you think from the shots in Saudi, AJ looks in better shape and slimmer? He looks, but there's no way of telling until gets in the ring. But what's most importantly, will he fucking get tired and gassed out in the third round? That's the question. So we'll know on the day. Fuck how he looks. The dude's all stocky and colossus, big thick ass neck and shit anyway. But at the end of the day, the results will show how he performs in the ring. Kurt, are you going to do a live after every press conference with really? Yep, I'm going live after every press conference all week. Now I'm doing this every week because, these are different press conferences and different atmospheres. So, of course, I'm not going to do no lame-ass Saudi Arabia and not do New York or London. It wouldn't even make sense, but absolutely, I will do that. And actually, I'm about to wrap up here in about 3 minutes because I have a meeting, then go for the KO. Much love from Kenya. George Criago, counterpunch to you, brother. Thank you for your support. People forget if AJ didn't go in for a swing up after he knocked Ruiz down, things could have gone differently. Yeah, because what happens is, this is what Joshua needs to do. He needs to show his dominance in the ring. He needs to show and make Andy Ruiz respect his punching power. He needs to do that shit early. And he has to, what he has to do? He has to remind Andy Ruiz about that. But anyway, that's bleeding into the fight study or whatnot. And I'm going to do a breakdown on that for the part 2. So stay tuned for that. Seth Kofi, watching live from Denmark. Counterpunch to you. Domino Don, big ups to you. Your shows are lit. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you guys for the support. If AJ isn't carrying as much muscle and working more on cardio, more chance is stamina will improve. Yeah, he doesn't have all that fucking muscle because he needs more oxygen to pump to those muscles to move that shit around. People know that. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. People talk about Rob McCracken. Yeah, Rob McCracken, you know, I was disappointed in that third round. After he came out of the third round, McCracken didn't know what fucking punch to throw. Okay. But we also can't overlook the strength and conditioning of Joshua. That's a major factor. He should have never been allowed to come in that damn heavy. Ever. They should have learned from the Vladimir Klitschko fight of that. But they didn't. So guess what? That's their ass. You know? Much hope his punches them Snickers out of his belly. No, it's funny though. You say that, but it's people with big bellies like that and kind of, you know, they can take better punches. You see what I'm saying? There's more fat covering it. He has protection. Remember the Blob from X-Men? You know what I mean? You punch that shit. Good news you're doing live after each press. Absolutely. Stephen Harrison, it's all good, man. You know, you can go back and watch this shit all over again. You know what I mean? It's only an hour 17 minutes, not long. Put that shit in as you cook or something. I can't wait until I live tomorrow. Absolutely. Nicola Austin, counterpunch to you. Stay tuned. Baby Juiced Miller. Yeah, he was juicing like a man. Look, he was juicing. Stephen Harrison, what's up, dude? Juice head joke Shua. Man, this is hilarious. Hilarious, man. I heard ass juice and damn near bust aside laughing. Ass juice. That's hilarious, man. People be cracking up, man. Mick Hicks. Hello, Kurt from the UK. What a boring press conference. Yeah, look. Calm down, people. This was censored. And I'm going to say this before I get off. This was censored. This was before the people. This was set aside for the people that made the fight happen. The people that showed us the money. That's all this was. They recognized the prince. They talked about this motherfucker 15 minutes, right? And kissed his ass and jerked him off and did all this shit because he was the guy that had the money. So they had, you know, they had to brown nose this guy. But now the real press conferences will be in New York and London. So stay tuned for those. I will cover those live like I do now, like I'm doing now. So we will return then, but I have some more videos to drop and I have a deadline to be. But everyone that came onto the chat, I appreciate you guys logging in. Hopefully we'll have some lit conferences tomorrow and I will counterpunch it all. So stay tuned for that. So everybody in the chat, it's been real, and counterpunch to everyone. Peace.